to the 2011 Hunter x Hunter arc anime tier list or anime arc tier list. My words were flipped.
Yes, but you're gonna have to carry me through this one
Oh,
because
that's
besides Chimera and York New City, I don't know the names of any of these arcs,
all good, all good.
or at least I don't remember them off rip.
I'm doing Hunter x Hunter, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm still pretty fresh, so I should be good for the most part. Now, are you going past what's visually done? Are you going to manga?
I'm just doing the 2011 anime, so everything that you've seen.
Perfect.
Starting off,
I'm gonna kick this off. I'm gonna kick it off with a bang, and I'm gonna say it flat out, straight up, in your face. No discrepancy required. Fucking Greed Island, get the fuck out of here.
Somebody cooked here. Somebody has cooked here.
Bro, we didn't like the concept not for 5 minutes. I mean, yeah, it's a get the fuck out of here, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Don't get me wrong.
Bro, that literally brought every
everything
one
I
of your
saw from Hunter
nostalgias
x Hunter
back.
when I watched it like 3 or 4 years ago. I did thoroughly enjoy it from episode to episode whatever. Greed Island was the weakest arc.
So
Look, it was a weak arc, but my only argument is like we all put ourselves in that position when we were kids. I mean, like, how cool would it be to play as yourself in a fucking game, but not only in a game, it happening in your favorite anime at the time. That's the only grace and the pat on the back you gotta give it. Now, hence it is in get the fuck out category.
So for me, I will say, for reference, anyone watching, the last time that I had watched Hunter x Hunter prior to Shane and I watching it about a month and a half, 2 months ago, was about 2.5, 3 years ago. And when we got to Greed Island, I definitely have a better opinion about it now than I did before. It's still definitely in my get the fuck out, but I think it helped that I hated the arc and I hated Genther as a villain so much going into it that the payoff of seeing Gon bust his shit again finally was like oh my god, we're out of this arc,
Yeah,
let's go.
Honest.
Just having that in mind, like it has some cool moments. The coolest being, in my opinion, the dodgeball game. I don't think there's really any contestant that there. The dodgeball game is fire. With Greed Island, the main things for me that take away from it is the arcs that it happens in between of. So you have York New City prior to this, you have the introduction of the Phantom Troop, you have Kurapika's whole being the protagonist and his storyline, his fight with Ubojin, Gon, Killua, and Leorio and their involvement, and bro, you get into this arc and you have fucking Gentru. You have Gentru and his little goons, okay?
Fucking Gentru.
Okay? You go from Crollo to fucking Gentru. Okay? From there, you go from Gentru to Marium.
Yeah. Yeah, Marium was he was such an odd like entity. I actually liked his diversity.
On top of that, I just wasn't the card system doesn't bother me per se, but I don't like how we're still learning stuff about Nen technically up to this point, and then they throw in this card system, have all this different shit explaining it. It's not the most complex thing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I was confused by it, but it's a bit convoluted at the same time. And then it's just gone after that, no pun intended. It just never comes back, okay? Because of that and the lack of redeemable moments for me, I rank it at the bottom of my Hunter x Hunter arcs in general.
Well, the only thing with Greed Island I think was cool was it was convoluted, but I feel like since it was duller than the rest of the arcs, it had kind of kept me in the game for a second, because I'm like, oh fuck, well I might need to know what that is later, so let me lock in. It was a okay, cool concept, but yeah, bottom.
So the first arc of the series, the Hunter exam, I'll let you guys say what you both feel about it, and then I'll give mine.
God, the Hunter exam arc. I really don't remember a lot of it. Like I said, Hunter I binged it in its entirety in maybe a week, and
it's like a 20-second rundown.
3 or 4 years ago. The Hunter exam arc, it didn't leave an impression on me. Like York New, and even hold on, I don't remember much about York New either, but it left an impression on me because I'm like, oh shit, let's talk about York New. Hunter exam arc, I'm like, okay, that happened. Izumi was kind of there, sort of, at one point, and that's really all there was to it, in my opinion. Illumi, yeah. Say
good. I want to put that at good.
I agree, it was good.
So
I'm trying to remember everything that happened.
For me, I'd personally have it at great. Between the introduction of Gon at the start of it and it setting his goal pretty straight away, but immediately introducing a short-term goal at the same time. It's established right away he wants to become a hunter and meet his dad, blah blah blah. But the first step is get into the hunter exam. Then he has to pass the hunter exam. Then there's all these other small goals that he has to overcome throughout the series to eventually reach that big overarching goal. And I like how they start that concept off right away. I like the introduction of Leorio and Kurapika, especially with how they were kind of beefing at first, and then when that storm comes in and they work together, they're like, oh, you know what, you're not that bad. And then as the arc goes on, they genuinely become boys.
I loved their dynamic and how it didn't stay rival, hate each other, gimmicky, but it merged into a genuine connection of I would fight for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how you say a few words and remind me what happens, but I was going to say great originally. I would probably, put that at great. There was a lot dumped in the Hunter exam, and well done.
So, aside from that stuff, once you actually get to the starting room of the exam, few characters are introduced, even if they're not, fully shown yet. Hisoka's shown, Illumi, although you don't know it's Illumi, a few other characters like Hanzo. Then you have fucking Toonpei, okay? This dude is the biggest bitch in all of anime. His whole purpose in life is to just ruin the life of rookie aspiring hunters, okay? Nobody likes Toonpei.
What's this guy's name again?
His nickname is the Rookie Crusher.
He sounds like an asshole.
He's that old dude who's taken the Hunter exam fucking 36 or 37 times and never passed.
I know exactly who you're talking about. This guy is fucking bitch.
Aside from him, though, you also have...
Put him under, get the fuck out of there real quick. Just to exemplify how much he alone drags the arc down from peak to great.
No, so he's a bitch, but I don't think he drags the arc down by any means.
I was joking. But
I feel like if anything, he adds to the arc because of the dynamic it brings to the main squad that we're focusing. But after he is introduced, Killua. Need I say more? Killua Zoldyck.
A goat.
After a little bit of brief introduction, Toonpei trying to sabotage them, but Gon being like, oh no, this tastes weird, so Kurapika and Leorio don't drink it, and Killua just straight up drinking it because he has poison resistance and asking for more. The exam starts. The first part of the exam is the run-in portion, and it's basically just a very, very, very long endurance test, and
a marathon.
I love this part of it a lot. Mainly because of Leorio's moment.
We got to see a good look into his character.
Yeah, you get to really see more of his motivations, and you find out that, he's not, his goal is to get all this money, but it's not because he's some greedy little asshole. It's, behind, genuine good causes. He never wants to have to worry about losing any of his friends or family to uncurable illnesses or anything like that again. That's why he wants to get all this money to become a doctor and blah blah blah. And when he
I like how that
surpasses his limits,
circle at the end of Chimera Ant, where he's where he I forget. Was it Geen he punched in the face?
Yeah, that was during the Sherman election arc.
But
yeah,
smoked him, bro.
So worried about Gon.
Yeah, Leorio's a great
shit.
character, and when he like surpassed his limits after he had fallen down to his knees and got that second wind of energy and just started hauling ass, bro, like definitely pretty cool. I also like seeing how pissed off he was getting at Killua for using his skateboard. Thought that was pretty funny. But I don't want to drag this arc on too much, so I will just move on a little faster. Second part with the cooking and everything. Not the coolest thing, but, you know, every arc has its low point. I don't think it was bad by any means. It just, compared to everything else that happens in this arc, no one really wants to fucking sit through the second part with the cooking hunters. The forest part, actually, no, the tower was first. The tower was first, but before the tower, you had the little scuffle on the airship with Netero versus Killua and Gon, where Netero is trying to keep the ball away from them.
Was that in the Hunter exam arc?
Yeah, that was in the Hunter exam arc.
What? I feel like that was so much later.
I think it's a really nice insight into the potential of both Gon and Killua, as well as their personalities early on, where Killua realizes, you know, he has his fun, but he realizes pretty quickly, like, yeah, this isn't happening, and leaves to go and get some sleep. But Gon, on the other hand, is like, yeah, I know I'm not going to get the ball, but I want to limb by limb make him use his left hand, then his right hand, then his right foot, you know what I mean? So it's a pretty good insight to their characters. Then when you get to the actual tower, one of the coldest moments in the series happens in this tower, and that is Killua ripping a dude's heart out.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
And then proclaiming to say...
I think it was more gruesome in the 90s anime version.
I agree. I actually agree. A lot of things actually are a lot more gruesome in the 99 version of the Hunter x Hunter anime.
Everything got a lot more censored after the 90s for some reason, but whatever. That's not what we're talking about right now.
He then proclaims to say, you know, if my dad would have done it, the heart wouldn't even be beaten either, like, and there'd be no blood, like... Just cold ass shit.
That was a cold ass comment. I remember exactly what you were saying.
Leorio and Kurapika are like shitting themselves after this, and mind you, Kurapika, like, before this happened, also had a little aura farm moment where that dude with the fake Phantom Troop tattoos who he went against, and Kurapika lost his shit. So Kurapika saw, like, we see what he can do briefly, and then Killua does that, and Kurapika's like, oh shit. Leorio's like, are we safe near you? And Killua's just like, oh yeah, guys, it's just another day on the job for me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much.
The forest...
Don't piss me off and you'll be okay.
The forest section of this arc, where they have a target with a badge that they had to get. The way that Gon goes about tackling the obstacle that is Hisoka having the number that he needs to get, and the way he trains for it, with the final payoff of him following him for all these days, catching him in combat, getting the badge off of his chest, running away, finding out that his hunter was on him the whole time, following him the same amount of time, but then Hisoka comes after that hunter, takes Gon out. It's like, nah, bro. Takes him out and gives Gon the stuff back. Gon's like, nah, bro, I can't take this. But he can't give it back, obviously. Hisoka's like, give this back to me, like, when you're strong enough, blah, blah, blah. I love that whole dynamic.
And don't forget, Hisoka educates us on the fact that it's got the properties of bungee and gum.
Bungee gum. I say this like 5 times a day. Ask him. Anything that is remotely near fucking gum.
I just imagine walking around at work going,
bungee gum. Dude, I did it at work. I was like, oh, Shway, you got bungee gum? He didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
It's got the properties of rubber and gum.
I really like Killua's moment in this arc where this group of brothers is chasing him, and he no-diffs them, gets the badges, and separates the 2 that he doesn't need by throwing them in the air. And the whole time Hanzo, the ninja guy, is watching, and he sees Killua throw the badges, but Killua's sleight of hand was so fast that Killua threw the one that Hanzo thought he had to get in the complete opposite direction. So Hanzo went the complete other way to find that, and then realized, like, oh shit, he swapped them out last second. I didn't even realize. And then the ultimate final of them getting out of the forest with Leorio, Kurapika, and Gon in that cave. I forget her name, but with the bee girl and the dead guy with the snakes, and Gon holding his breath for like 5 or 6 minutes and carrying them out after like basically like poison gas the cave to kill the snakes. Like, it was just such a cool moment, and I really liked it. And then the final part of the arc with the final battles, Gon vs Hanzo, great, fucking great.
Yeah, easily great. I mean, fuck, man, we were sprucing that up. It sounded like it was gonna be a fight for the peak.
That was like a 5-paragraph essay that Dan just
No,
spit
that
off
was
the top
fucking
of his
fire,
head,
bro.
like,
I just relived and pretty much just watched like fast forwards in my head during all of that.
So
on the side process.
with Gon vs Hanzo, I really fuck with, because it shows even more. Gon's not gonna give up no matter what. He has his arm broken. He doesn't care. He's being shown that he's about to get killed. He doesn't care. Hanzo could not break Gon's will at all. Gon literally broke his will and decided, you know what? Chances are I can beat one of these other people that I'm gonna fight. Let me just give this kid the win, or else I'm literally gonna kill him. And he didn't want to kill Gon. I mean, maybe at the start of it, like when he was making the threats, he was like half serious, but when Gon just kept being his stubborn little self, you could tell that he didn't want to kill Gon. But just all in all, I feel like it definitely belongs in great. Illumi revealing himself to be the dude with the pins and needles and everything, and basically making Killua snap, kill one of the participants of the exam, get disqualified, and then go back to the residence.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, great regardless. I mean, that the whole entirety of it was great.
But you guys are right.
That was next level shit.
I just pulled the thesis out.
You really did.
Next up, we have the Zoldyck family arc. So following the Hunter exam, this is definitely a step down. It's a lot shorter of an arc too. It has some pretty cool
put
moments.
It as good
mid, honestly.
I'd probably put it in mid as well. I would put it in mid as well. It has cool moments, but with how short it is and kind of like
it just doesn't
Great
have time
Island,
to flush itself out.
That there's not enough like standout cool moments aside from getting the door open and the talk that Killua has with his dad. Also, Killua like breaking the chains that he was on. He's like, all right, I'm done here. I just let you torture me. The arc itself is short and doesn't have too many like really hard hitting moments. And kind of like how I was saying with Greed Island, the arcs that it takes place in between, this takes place in between the Hunter exam and Heaven's Arena.
Well, honestly, the only argument that I could say is like it's Killua's family, and we don't know shit until it happens. So yes, it is swift, silent, and brief, almost as if Killua himself.
Yeah, I just feel like overall it's a pretty mid arc.
Right, it would need more time. Like I agree entirely with what you guys said. You know, it just needs more to it to have it play out to be good.
Heaven's Arena, this arc is a lot of fun. So this arc introduces us to the concept of Nen, which is the power system in Hunter x Hunter, the basics of Nen, as well as some really cool fights. I mean, this arc is literally just straight hands and important series information. This arc features Gon vs Hisoka, which isn't my favorite fight in this series, but it's definitely up there. It's a very cool fight. Seeing Gon try to pull out all the punches.
I love Gon versus Hisoka. I'm not even gonna lie.
And even down to like them learning how to use Nen. They get to the 200th floor and Hisoka's sitting up there waiting to not let them in. And it's basically piercing them like the cold ice from a blizzard. And they have an hour to learn how to defend against this shit. They go back to Wing's apartment, they lock the fuck in, and they come back and they walk through Hisoka's aura. Mm-hmm. Like, bro. And then you even have Zushi was a little depressed about how Gon and Killua were clearly leagues ahead of him, even though he'd been training for so much longer. And Wing's like, don't worry, dude. You're 1 in 100,000. You're a very rare prodigy. Those two, however,
I feel like Sushi was wasting potential.
Those two, however, they're 1 in a million.
Yeah, that was a little bit like, oh shit, I feel bad for homie.
I don't think that it's better than the Hunter exam.
Yeah, I would say that's good.
I would probably put it in good. It doesn't have any moments that stood out to me as like dragging on or bad. There are some not forgetful fights, but like, Hisoka vs. Gon's the main event. The other fights that happen are decent to good, but that's obviously the main fight, and that's what everyone is at that.
That's what everybody came to see. That's what they all wanted.
Gon landing the punch and giving Hisoka the badge back, like the callback for, you know what I mean? Just everything.
Yeah.
Moving on. York New City. I'm immediately putting this in peak. Does anyone have any?
No, do it.
You know, it's funny because as little as I remember about this arc, I totally agree.
Oh man, all three of them.
I remember absolutely loving this arc.
Fuck.
So, York New City, it goes back and forth with me with Chimera Ant for my favorite arc in the series. For anyone who doesn't know, Kurapika is my 1A favorite character in Hunter x Hunter. Killua was my 1B. And seeing Kurapika take the front seat as the protagonist in this arc, chef's kiss. From him joining the mafia family that he joined to get the gig at the underground auction, to the Phantom Troop showing up and doing their massacre, chasing Uvo out, and Kurapika showing up, seeing how strong this dude is, blah, 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 and still being like, yeah, I can beat him. They capture him, you know, they take him back and everything. He escapes, they fight. Bro, Kurapika brought a shovel to the fight.
Oh my god, I remember this.
He brought a shovel to the fight, bro. And like, don't get me wrong, Uvo, he didn't get bitched, but like he at most, like even before the Scarlet Eyes came out, like Kurapika was like clearly the stronger combatant just from like an overall standpoint. Not like physical hit strength. When it comes to that, by the way, Uvo was the physically strongest member of the Phantom Troop. Kind of crazy. So Uvo's goal, actually, when it came to his punches and his Big Bang Punch in particular, is he wanted it to be when he punched the ground, it basically output the same energy as a nuke. Something that he wanted to accomplish. That's how obsessed he was with getting physically stronger. But Kurapika, relative to him without the Scarlet Eyes, pulls out the Scarlet Eyes. It's revealed with the Scarlet Eyes that he is a specialist in that state, giving him access to all 5 branches of Nen. And bro, the Judgment Chain.
Wasn't there 6 styles of Nen usage?
So there's 6, but Specialist is the 6th one. Specialist is when you have all the 5 other ones.
Gotcha. That's just math, and I should have realized.
But that shit was so cold. And then even the subplot of Gon and Killua and Leorio trying to make money so they can buy a copy of Greed Island, and then them getting involved with the Phantom Troop stuff, and the way that they outsmart the Phantom Troop in the hotel lobby with the lights going off, and the way that they communicated between Leorio and them to even get that point across without any of the Phantom Troop members knowing that they were even correlated with each other. Amazing. Kurapika getting his hands on Chrollo, the whole exchange that happened, Chrollo getting the binding vow put on his heart to not be able to use Nen anymore. Like, just everything that happens in that arc, start to finish, is just insane. A lot of really cool fights. One of my favorite fights in the series from my favorite character in the series, and I had nothing bad to say about the York New City arc.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that shit was completely heat, and I can probably even argue just as long, probably with accuracy, such accuracy. But that man, bro, let me be honest. Chimera Ant, Chairman election, and York New is just, they're very hard for me to like differentiate.
So since we already covered Greed Island at the start, that means that the next arc is the Chimera Ants arc. And like I was saying, this one goes back and forth with me with York New as my favorite. And after this recent rewatch, it actually is my favorite in the series. So
know what
Tom,
I'm saying
if
for the next
you
one.
if you want to get into the point you were gonna make before,
it's a good arc. For me, it was overhyped by the people around me that have talked about it. In fact, there was even once upon a time where you, Phobic, said you felt it was overhyped. But that was years and years ago. And I thought it was great, but not great enough to be in great. There's one moment in particular, though, two technically, but it all amounts to one that carries it so fucking hard. That's the moment everyone knows that's Rage Gone versus Neferpito, and it is the pinnacle of the arc for me. It was phenomenally written, phenomenally built up, and just seeing him struggling to contain himself in the face of the murderer of Kite was great for me. It was a new take on a rage moment that I'd not seen before, where the main character doesn't immediately go off and then calm down and maintain the power. No, he had the power, made a contract to access the power, and then used his frustration and rage to put himself mentally where he needed to be to make that contract, and then still struggled to contain himself. It was like watching Goku as he was about to turn into a Super Saiyan, but for like 45 minutes. Like, and for me, that carries the arc so hard. Slightly less carrying, but also carrying that arc is Fight versus Neferpito because of how it sets that up. The rest of the arc was just way too overhyped for me. I loved Meadow character arc, and I like the way he dies. It's cool. It's not seen a lot. It's not, oh, big bad got punched really hard. For me, the arc surrounding these moments was just too overhyped for me to put it up in peak. I could be convinced to put it in great, but I'm not putting it in peak.
for me, like I was saying, after this most recent rewatch, this is definitely my favorite arc in the series. It's the 1A next to York New at the 1B, but it starts off with right after Greed Island. They use the accompany card to get to Kite, and when they get to Kite, it's mysterious of like, oh, who is this guy? Is this going to be Gon's dad? And then quickly we realize it's not. But then we find out that not only is this a dude who knows Gon's dad, but a dude who Gon has actually met in the past on WoW Island. Kite saved Gon as a kid, and that right away already made between the connection to his dad and the fact that they had met in that manner before, made a connection already off the rip. Killua obviously is going to get along too because he's following Gon. You know, Kite's friends with Gon. Kite has that same kind of cold mystique aura to him that Killua does. Killua's like, all right, bet, like, let's go. So they're investigating the Chimera Ant shit, and at the start of the arc, there's not too many insane fights until the squadron leader ants are born, and I forget which one it was, but one of them came and encountered Gon, Killua, and Kite. And Kite was basically like, alright, you two take him on. And they both used like their go-to attacks basically on him. And it caused the Nen awakening when he got back and like woke up and everything. And them learning how to use Nen was such a crazy like, oh shit, now it's getting real. On top of them learning that the humans that had Nen gave the queen ant more subsistence and all that, as well as would then make the further ants be born with Nen because of the genes and DNA that come from those humans with Nen. I really like how they made the ants have Nen. It didn't feel like an ass pull. It didn't feel like some unexplained plot point. It felt like, oh, this makes sense. Like, over the Chimera Ants evolution, like, this is where they were destined to be. When you get into the actual fights and the meat and potatoes of the arc, I want to start with the Phantom Troop in Meteor City, specifically fighting Zazan's squad. So Zazan was one of the squad leaders who left after Meruem was born, and became her own queen. And when these Chimera ants tried taking over Meteor City, the Phantom Troop went there, or some of the Phantom Troop members at least went there to basically like, hey, yo, you little bugs ain't gonna take our shit.
You little bugs.
Here, it was pretty cool to see Kaluto, Killua's sister, included as a new member, replacement member of the troop. I think she was Hisoka's replacement. But they get in there, and I will say the actual showings for some of the troop members here are not at all that impressive, like compared to like where some of these ants, if they fought Scowl, it's actually pretty bad for Phantom Troop Scowlin', to be honest. But Phaeton in particular, his fight with Zazan was a lot of fun. Phaeton's one of my favorite characters in the Phantom Troop, and seeing him in his rusty state pull out the Pain Packer, and as soon as he pulls it out, Finks and everyone else is like, oh shit, we gotta run, and Kaluto's like, why? And he's like, put it like this, if we don't, we're gonna die. And
yeah, the Pain Packer was pretty cool.
I just thought that shit was cool, especially like with the context of the attack burning as hot as the surface of the sun. Like that's Hunter when it comes to power scowling and Hack's abilities is pretty tame overall. So having something like that, like, oh, this burns as hot as the sun, like that's definitely it's a pretty cool Hack's ability to have in a verse like Hunter x Hunter. Moving on though, you have basically the infiltration and the setup to the palace invasion. And there's a few fights that happen between here, but the main one that I want to lock in on is Morel versus Chitsu and Killua versus the brother and sister with the darts. I forget their names, but Killua almost dying, but figuring out how to counter those darts that appeared instantaneously was so fucking peak, as well as the fact that him doing that basically won him the fight.
Too. Yeah, in like, the fight, already going and moving around, like, yeah, that was pretty fucking impressive feat. I
was able to conceal his aura after that, so when the brother and sister came to where he was, they still thought he was dead. They're bragging about it, and next thing you know, Killua just leaves the ground and cuts both their fucking heads off before collapsing back on the ground. That shit was my favorite
scene, almost my favorite scene.
Killua is just cold, and then him getting saved. I forget Octopus dude's name, but off the top of my head, but him saving him, and even the Octopus dude's, his whole character arc throughout this arc was pretty cool. Into the palace invasion. A lot of people like to joke that the palace invasion, especially the first part of it on the stairs, takes forever, and I was kind of like going into this rewatch worry like, oh god, are we gonna be dragging on here for like 6 episodes to get up this one pair of stairs? And it's not as bad as I remember, and definitely not as bad as a lot of people online try to make it out to be. It didn't feel like it was dragging on. It definitely felt like it could have been a little faster, but I didn't feel like, oh my god, we've been here for 12 episodes and the whole time.
Dude, I'm just saying, when I watched that part, I started it at midnight, and I let the TV play, and I woke up at 8 a.m. the next day to get ready for work, and they were still on the stairs.
Bro, it's just not possible.
The thing that's cool though, you gotta remember too, like there's a lot of people, everybody's brain works differently. Like these are like I guess the people more so that were more so in the comments saying, hey, they should have moved faster, they were objectively oriented the entire time, thinking. So it made it seem that was 5 times or 3 times or, you know, longer than it actually was. I didn't think it was that bad. Usually I'm the person that wants to get to the next scene, but
yeah,
I think it was pretty good.
Further into the invasion, I mean, you have a few little fights like Morel versus Shia Poof, and what's his name, versus Yuppie, and then Killua showing up at the end of that and showing his lightning shit, and Yuppie still being like, that's fucking me up, but like I'm still standing like pretty undamaged and everything. The actual, like, bro.
I remember how I reacted.
Netero and Zeno, their invasion from the sky between Zeno's dragon attack and Pito flying right at Netero, and I love the narrator in the brief second that had elapsed between Netero winding up the attack with the Buddha statue and hidden. Netero, like, Pizzo swore that she could hear Netero say, "That's a bad move, little ant." Like, something like that. Like, just some cold shit.
Yeah. He
And
said
then
something exactly like that.
smacks her fucking miles or kilometers, one of the two, away from the palace. She has to do some crazy shit to catch herself and get back. The actual
One of my favorite
scene...
parts of those like couple moments was when Netero looks at Gon and he just
yeah.
I was actually low-key geeking when I saw it. I was like, this cocky motherfucker. Like, he knows.
The dragon attack from Zeno ended up hitting Komogi and hurting her pretty bad, so Pizzo has to save her. Meruem gets her in there, blah blah blah. And when Netero and Zeno walk into the room Meruem's in, and they first like encounter his end for the first time, bro, they were shook, like visibly fucking shook. So they have a little bit of talking, and it's at this point where you start to realize that Komogi's really been rubbing off on Meruem and his mentality as a whole. He's starting to become a lot more human than Ant. And Netero and Zeno start to realize this as well. So when Netero and Meruem go to actually fight, I think a really important thing to highlight here is Meruem realistically could have won the fight pretty quickly. The main thing is he wanted to learn what his name was, and that was kind of why like he didn't just straight up kill Netero the first time he ripped his arm off, and or his leg off, whichever one he ripped off first, instead of just straight up ripping off his head. He wanted to learn what his name was.
I believe it was his right arm.
And Netero, even like going into it knowing that he's probably going to lose with bringing the rose with him and all that, like I love how it shows Meruem and him starting to come to grasp with his humanity and the human feelings that come alongside it, and the malice and the hate that the human race like holds like a lot of. And then Netero comes in as basically this peak form of humanity, but even in the end, still that hatred and malice not betrays Meruem, but basically blindsides Meruem in a way that he was never expecting when the rose goes off. At the peak of humanity's hatred and malice and destruction is the rose. The rose is a nuke. It is the embodiment of the real world hatred and destruction that like builds up, like you know what I mean, like. So I really like how it all correlated. I did a pretty shit job explaining that as a whole, but then like you were touching on with Gon versus Pizzo, fucking crazy. Like that's easily one of if not my favorite rage moment in any manga period. There's only a few that are up there with it for me.
Well, my man's was sitting there quiet for that long and dead ass. Nothing else was oriented within thought. It was just one sole purpose.
Yeah. Gone even before he went into that like crazy adult state.
That was killable.
He was cold throughout the entire palace invasion. He was calling all the shots. When he got into that room with Pizzo, like he was even talking to shit to Killua. Like Killua was like, bro,
yeah, remember he came in, yeah.
Like,
bro, Gon was really gone.
Gon would have, Dan, I forget his name again. Big guy, white hair, smoking pipe weapon.
Morel.
Yeah, Gon would have not just killed that guy with his rock, he would have eviscerated him.
Oh, bro, he would have
evaporated.
He would have turned him into a donut.
No, bro, we're going past that. He like atomized.
Past evaporation.
Gon would have split his atoms.
He's literally gonna turn him into a donut on some Toji shit.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
So, Tom, I can hear why or where your stance is. I do feel like if you were to rewatch the series, you'd probably feel a little differently about it. But
maybe.
So
where are you putting it?
Where do you think we should put it?
I can settle on great. I'm not.
Our last three are peak.
You're not going to get me to agree with peak just yet. Maybe on a rewatch, but not yet.
What? What do you want to rewatch now?
Alright, so last but certainly not least, we have the chairman election arc. This is a, kind of like how Shane was saying, another one that I kind of view as pretty peak. I don't view it as better than the Chimera Ants
this one
arc
made me
personally,
emotional.
But this one,
yeah, this arc does get a little emotional.
This and Chimera Ant made me emotional. Like, so, hit home.
Oh, that's another thing with Chimera Ant's arc that I didn't touch on, is like Meruem's whole wrap up. I know you touched on it briefly, Tom, but his death, especially with Komugi, like there with him, just like chef's fucking kiss.
Bro, that gave me
that was a really good and emotional ending for both of those characters. Especially because of like what you said, like she was teaching him how to be human. And he was more human than Ant at the time he died.
100%.
And this is all learned from a base game.
Netero even said that like I need to take care of this before he starts to sway me over. Like Netero straight up said something along those lines when Meruem started talking.
Dude, that's what Netero was talking about. Like he knew how to talk to people. Like even when he was like just fully Ant minded, he knew how to talk to people. He knew how to sway people to his side. Bro was the Starscream of Hunter x Hunter. Like
a lot of people in the Hunter x Hunter community might not like this take, but it's something I would have to get in a whole nother thing in terms of my arguments. But Prime Netero or old Netero, the difference would not have mattered. Netero still would have lost that fight. Anyway,
but how people are gonna have problem with that? Because I mean, if we want to be honest here, Miriam's full power was not fucking distributed. Like,
yeah, he didn't even reach full power
like,
yet.
He didn't. He pulled a fucking Whis and went later.
What didn't he need like another day or two to get to full power? And, like Netero,
not even. It was like, disgusting. Pito was literally fucking shitting herself in front of Miriam.
So it wasn't necessarily a full power. It's just his power was just going to keep growing and growing. Something to keep in mind is when he died, he was 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
The potential was off the charts, and the strength and the understanding of the world and Nen just grew exponentially by the awakened second.
It's literally almost like if you took the last and the latest of everything known, printed it into this kid, and he was birthed.
Like when it comes to
to break plateaus from there on.
When it comes to the Hunter x Hunter world, Meruem was the prime peak, like perfect specimen, if you will.
Yeah, Ant hardened thorax as a body, also great power.
But you're absolutely right. Netero would have been.
So the chairman election.
Not to hate on Netero.
Is another arc that I would want to put in P, but since I don't have it over Chimera Ant, I don't know if I can. But so here's the thing. Let's start from the bottom, I guess.
That's the beauty of having 3 people ranking these arcs together is that
the last 3 belong
you could get swayed by 2 of our arguments or like,
three belong in peak. Listen, this one.
Oof, I can't put this a peak where I want, so get it the fuck out of here.
I really like Killua being basically the main character of this arc. One of the things I really like about Hunter x Hunter is how, yes, Gon might be the main character, but there's really 4 main characters of Hunter x Hunter, and that is Gon, Killua, Leorio, Kurapika.
Their moment.
Yeah. So Killua going back to his family and it being revealed that there's another Zoldyck sibling in Alika/Nanika, and then finding out what exactly Alika/Nanika is insane. So I'm going off the top of my head here, so I might not get it 100% right, but basically Nanika is going to ask you 3 things. There's going to be 3 commands. You had to do those commands. If you refuse to do a command 3 times, then you and your closest loved one dies. If you do all 3 of the commands, Nanika will grant a wish to you. And whatever the intensity of that wish is will then carry over into the next 3 commands that go to the next person in terms of how severe or how possibly gruesome those commands are. And the other thing is when someone doesn't follow the commands and that death thing happens, it resets the intensity. So it goes back to the square one of it. That's
it's like a domino effect, and you're resetting the dominoes.
So that's kind of an off the top, not too knowledgeable on Hunter x Hunter, but knowledgeable enough explanation of Nanika and her ability. And with that, Killua's gonna wish for her to heal Gon because nothing's working. They brought in all these Nen specialists and exorcists and everything in between. Nothing's working. My boy is comatose. His body looks worse than Meruem's did after the rose. Like, it's rough. Illumi and the Zoldyck family as a whole trying to prey on Killua's downfall in this arc I thought was a pretty cool plot point. Hisoka pissing off Illumi in a way that kind of helped Killua advance further was pretty cool, because when Hisoka made the comment about if the chance were to arise, can I kill Killua? And Illumi flexed his bloodlust and was like, I'll kill you if you do that. That allowed Killua to feel Illumi's bloodlust from where he was and know where Illumi was to go further and further away. And I think Illumi even hinted at that with, you did that on purpose, didn't you? After Hisoka's like, I was just joking. So I think Hisoka low-key was trying to help Killua get Gon healed in this arc, despite being on Illumi's side.
I'm with you on that 100%, because I remember that he did say that back to Illumi. He was like,
now Hisoka has so much investment in Gon, it's crazy.
The main plot point of this arc, and what the arc is named after, though, is the chairman election. The selection of who the new chairman of the Hunter Association will be with the passing of Isaac Netero, or to the public eye's perception, the retirement of Isaac Netero. I really like the Zodiacs, how they all interact with each other. Like, you can tell that, like, they have somewhat of a respect for each other in the sense that, like, yeah, like, you're a Zodiac like me, you're clearly strong, but, like, they also all disrespect the fuck out of each other. Like, at the blink of an eye, drop of a hat, like, one of them can be at any of the other one's throat over the smallest little
doesn't matter if they're family or friend
innuendo or glare, whatever it may be. And I think that's pretty cool, especially when you put them into a situation like this where they had to pick the new chairman of the association between them. And then what I really love is how you end up having someone come into the mix for chairman, someone being like Oreo, who isn't a Zodiac, but he goes to a public speech where the Zodiacs are taking questions, and he goes up and he's like, Gene, I got questions for you, bitch. When are you gonna go see Gon? He's in the hospital in a coma, and you're right here. I haven't even, like, you know what I mean? Like, Gon's going through all this, blah, blah, blah.
He was going in.
And then, bro, when he uses his Nen ability that puts the little portal in the ground,
I was geeking,
that was
I was in love with that scene.
Bro.
That was empowering as fuck.
Not only was it empowering as fuck for the viewer's perception of Leorio as a character, because, like, that took some balls too. Like, Gene is a monster. Like, Gene is literally a fucking monster. To do that took some fucking balls. That got everyone in the crowd on his side. Next thing you know, the next round of polls are coming in for the chairman election, and Leorio is like third or second on the list. Like, all of a sudden my boy's in the mix, and he makes his whole campaign, I don't really care what I'm gonna do as chairman. All that I want to do and all that I'm doing this for is to get Gon healed. And he had the whole fucking Hunter community basically behind it. And when he was given that final speech and Gon comes in healed, bro, that is one of the most emotional moments in Hunter x Hunter for me. Like, even in anime for me, like, that shit hits different for me.
Or Killua didn't react to shit. Like, doesn't. But when he seen that, I felt it. But I'm not gonna lie, these last 3 arcs that we're talking about right now is when I got to the core fucked up over some shit. Cause, like, leave out a lot of context, but relational as fuck.
The whole relationship between Leorio and Gon, and how important their friendship was, and how much it meant to Leorio for his friends to be able to be saved. The whole campaign that he goes on, campaigning around Gon being saved, Gon coming into the room and their emotional reunion on top of the fact that Jean is in the room, so you also have the first like meeting and knowing like that as well. Like it's a very emotional moment. And then the episodes that follow with Gon inevitably like talking to Jean and then going to follow him up the tree and they really talk and get into it. Very emotional. Like this is what we just watched the last 148 episodes for. This moment right here.
I just forgot that the series was that long.
It's definitely
I agree with it being great.
With,
in fact, even I would put it in peak, actually.
I bet.
Again, I personally don't think it's better than the Chimera Ant arc, but I do think it is peak, so I'll put it up there in peak as well.
Chimera Ant arc had a little bit more. There was a lot more points. This arc
there was a lot more going on.
This
but
one
so
is
much
serious.
Of it was
this
just
is more heartfelt. Yeah, internal. Average. Yeah, this one beats it out internally, but Chimera Ant beats it out. I guess like the action adventure part, everything going on at once, the highest peak, the climax. You know, you finally get to see a piece of the king, what the king actually cares for. I mean, you pretty much get sideswiped 6 times, and then you're just let into this next arc that gets you back into your bag again.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, yeah, Chimera Ant's over that, but I want to put that at peak.
So
no,
yeah.
I've got Chairman Election over Chimera Ant all day.
All opinions. I think the last 3 are fucking phenomenal. The last 3 that we just talked on were my favorites. Besides, the exam. I did like Heaven's Arena too. I mean, that was cool. I like different aspects of the show throughout itself, but yeah, dude, that last one, man, had me bagged up. I was fighting.
I think all in all, really, really good synopsis into the arcs of the 2011 Hunter x Hunter anime. I definitely didn't expect to fucking pull some theses out like that, but definitely happy that I did because I feel like it made for some really great conversation. So for anyone who doesn't know, Thal and I had actually done a very short video a few years back on this same topic. The video is 3.5 minutes. Like, we don't go in depth at all. We literally just like talk about, oh, this arc here, this arc here, this arc here, and that is it. I'm pretty sure
simple back then. Like we just both finished it, and
2 minutes of the 3.5.
We didn't need to talk about it to each other, and then
2 of the 3.5 minutes of the video is probably us shitting on Greed Island, like
yeah.
And then another 30 seconds, leaving a minute to spare, is probably the intro and outro. So this was a lot more productive of a conversation, and especially now that I've rewatched Hunter x Hunter recently and have a way deeper appreciation for it, it's on my Mount Rushmore. So my top 4 series is Black Clover, Naruto, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter. And Hunter x Hunter was not even in my top 5 before my recent rewatch, but it definitely had a really heavy impact on me in a lot more ways than it did before, and a lot more ways than I thought it would going back into it, and I'm really happy I gave it another chance.
Respect. I can't wait to watch the other 2 series he has as over Hunter x Hunter, but because I'm waiting, I'm just in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta get Naruto out of the way and then watch Hunter x Hunter again. But I gotta watch One Piece, and then we got Black Clover. I'm all over the fucking joint. I really want to say that the most heartfelt moments in the entirety that fucked me up was Miriam changing for how the hell do you say her name again? Komugi. He changes for her basically his entire perception in his head. That there was a couple of heartfelt moments that pretty much he was telling her and so forth, back and forth in metaphor, you know. Then when they're finally going to the resting place and says, "Can you hold my hand?" and then internally leave to get, that was fucking
remember,
Notebook.
He was a
that
baby.
Was Notebook.
Like, he was literally
a
baby.
Story. I don't even care if he was 60, bro. Like that's how you go out with your.
Well, that's what I'm saying. His emotional maturity and the way he grew, like, was crazy.
2 is Killua almost making Nanaka and Allie, I'm just gonna say Allie.
Alika.
Mad. Yeah, Alika. That almost broke my fucking heart. Because I'm just put it in very simple context. I haven't seen my sister in a very long time in real life. That pretty much brought me back to like this. Like, I make sure she's cool, you know, always have, always will. But like, dude, that was just a wake up call. Like, even if like you're not close to your sibling or anything, like, no matter how bad it is at the end of the day, take that family as an example. Even though it is an anime, you know, take it as an example. Sometimes you gotta rough out some shit for it to smooth back over. You will get hit, you will get hurt. Doesn't mean that you're hated, you're not welcome. Just wanted to put that out there because that one fucked me up, bro. I was literally fighting tears and I went outside, put my phone like this on the ground, sky up, so he didn't see me. But yeah, bro, that shit was bad. Great fucking series though.